Hey everyone, welcome to the Jagged Alliance Back in Action Mercenary Guide. Today I'll be discussing mercenary likes and dislikes, mercenary potentials, best mercenary troopers, and finally the best snipers. As always, if you want to jump to the section you're most interested in, then just click on it. If not, then just wait a few seconds and I'll take it from the beginning. It is very important to note that each mercenary has likes and dislikes. As his morale is affected accordingly, you should definitely pay attention to these relationships because morale is a strong factor to achieve the most out of your mercenaries. Some say it's a flat multiplier for all mercenary attributes. Here's a table of all the mercenary likes and dislikes in the game. In the green you see which other mercenary he or she likes. Keep in mind, if the merc likes someone, that equals higher morale when on the same team, and the ability to hire even when below the normal conditions provided the liked guy is employed. If the merc dislikes someone, it means that he or she will not work with that mercenary, or get lower morale. In some cases they won't even join. For example, magic likes blood and ice. So if you only got magic as your starter mercenary, which isn't obviously possible due to the money, but let's say for argument's sake you do, and you want blood and ice to join you, your morale is going to be high, which means your supposable attributes gain a bonus increase. Also, magic doesn't like and hates buns. So either when you try to hire Buns, she won't join due to the fact that she has an objection of joining the team with Magic, or Magic himself has an objection to it. Or she might actually join your team, but your team morale goes down and lose the bonus that you get with high morale. What actually is affected by morale is still highly speculative, as nobody till now knows what factors are increased, if any, or by how much. But what we can say for sure that some things are affected, and as such you should consider morale as a key attribute in building your team, as it does improve your individual mercs and team's overall performance. The most popular and problematic. The most popular mercenary is Fox. Steroid has the most problems working with others. Buns is fairly unpopular too. If you persist in having Fox in the team, the most suitable combination is Fox, Wolf, Malice, and Nails. Freebie mercenaries, including Mad Dog, don't have any likes or dislikes. As such, you can put them to any team you have and not worry about it affecting your morale. I prefer to use the freebie mercs as my transport, and use them to move around the map to sell and pick up stuff and supply my teams. One thing a bit outside of the scope of this table is that the loner trait mercs, such as Fidel or Meltdown, are both great sector defenders. Being both skilled with explosives, mines, and both strongly preferring to work alone, and as such gain a morale boost when they are alone. I would recommend to use one of these in Cambria, as that sort of becomes your headquarters throughout the majority of the game, and mind the running paths as much as possible, as the AI uses the same paths all the time when they arrive in the sector, as they charge towards the center of the map. To be more specific, it's location 5 where always the AI heads to. Another thing worth noting is a whole set of mercenaries who are team players, who will get a morale bonus when working inside a team of 6. Here's a list of the team players: Barry, Grunty, Red, Sydney, Fox, Buns, Ice, Hitman, Raider, Len, Thor, MD, and the freebie Miguel, Carlos, Dimitri, and Dr. Vincent. Also a good thing to know, some ladies like to work with ladies only, like Amazon, Spider, Buzz, and Ira. Amazon is a flaw, like unfit. Ira, Buzz, and Spider get low morale if working with any other man, just good if inside a only woman team. Macho, on the other side, is just a benefit when at least one girl is in the squad, but no decrease when working with just men. Loner is the same, very good morale when solo, just good if inside a team. Finally, night ops also affect morale, but only at night, meaning at night the morale of these mercenaries goes up and their overall performance increases. Here's a list of night ops mercenaries: Lynx, Shadow, Spider, Raven, Static, Dr. Q, Scope, and Freebie Conrad. Some mercenaries form natural circles of love. For example, Raven plus Raider, Scope plus Sydney, Fox plus Wolf, Spider plus Static, Igor plus Ivan plus Grunty, or Magic plus Blood plus Ice. If you want to form a smaller team of people for scouting or defense, it'll benefit you if you choose these people to work together. If you're planning for a large team, especially you want to fight many battles, you'll want a solid starting point. Make sure it has a main medic or sniper. As soon as you can afford it, preferably both. Be sure to follow the relationships route while picking mercs or other professions to add to the team. It means, let's say my first mercenary is X and he is a good sniper. but below average medical skills. My second mercenary, called B, I'll pick of course by his medical skills, let's say a minimum of 70 and above. And the second thing I'll look at is his relationship status in the chart. I'll always tend to pick somebody who Mercenary X likes or has no grudge against, to achieve maximum team morale. Here is a list of the best team compilations so far. Team Ice. Ice, Blood, Magic, Thor, Wolf, and Lynx. Magic likes Ice and Blood, and they both like him back. Lynx and Thor like Ice. Wolf likes Lynx. Of course you can create different friendly teams when you follow the patterns of likes and dislikes, and it pays off greatly in combat performance. Team Alpha. You have Raider, Thor, Dynamo, Sydney, Scope, and Miguel. 3 solid assault members and 2 snipers, along with a nice medic and some mechanical backup. This team is the best in support, as it has no mine disarming and no lock opening capabilities. In my playthrough, this was my dumping ground for extra mercs that were good but didn't otherwise mesh. All morale is very good, except Dynamo stays at good, whom I had very hard time finding a home for. Team Shaman. Magic, Ice, Lynx, Wolf, Fox, and Nails. The Ice and Fox circle of love combined into a very effective team. This is another one from my third full playthrough. We have every weapon type covered, as well as a solid lockpicking and demolition support. Team Nightfire. Raven, Reaper, or Lynx, Shadow, Spider, Static, Conrad, or Scope. Leftovers from the above teams, this team is a group of rock-solid night fighters with an exception of Reaper, who is a one-man army. Reaper brings the light demo support, and Spider makes Raven happy with her brand of TLC. She just can't get enough from Raider. If you want to go even more sniper heavy, switch in Lynx for Reaper. And Conrad can get switched out for Scope. Keep in mind that Scope, without Sydney, and Shadow will only be truly happy at night. Team Comunista. Igor, Ivan, Vince, Carlos, Iggy, and Grunty. A solid team made of the most ardent socialists and Vince. Ira is a solid Russian name, also not sure what her actual nationality is supposed to be in the game, but in this group her morale remains low, so I switched her out with very high freebie Vince. Everyone's morale is very good, except Iggy, who stays good, but he needs to be there with his fellow Russians. Carlos is a suck fighter, but an ardent Marxist, so needs to be there as well. Team Black Ice. Blood, Thor, Magic, Ice, Len, and Dynamo. The world's first all-black exploitation merc team, with Thor as a guest star. All bases are covered, including Dynamo with a sniper rifle, and everyone is fat and happy, except the sniper. If you really want to push the theme, Gus and Vicky can both replace Thor, so Blood can take over medical duties. Team Fox Company. Miguel, Carlos, Lynx, Wolf, Fox, Raider, or Conrad, and Nails. Fox, Wolf, and Nails again provide a backbone to this group of leftovers. Note again how useless Raider is to Raven. He stays just fine on a totally different team, as long as she has her Spider. Raider, Miguel, and Conrad are all pretty interchangeable. If you don't use Lynx, you can throw him in here for some hot Fox happiness. Team Feminista. Vicky, Ira, Buns, Meltdown, Spider, Raven. A theme team that's mildly effective. Buns is tricky to get without pissing off the rest of the world, and she won't join if you already have Fox or Reaper. Otherwise, this all-girl team has all bases covered. Raven, Spider, and Buns will keep very good morale, while Vicky, Ira, and Meltdown will stay simply good. If you want to be even trickier, get Buzz instead of Buns for 3 MG specialists. Mercenary Potential. In the following table, you have mercenaries listed with their starting stats and skills. The ones that are bold and underlined are the stats of the top 10 mercs of the current criteria, meaning Gus, Scully, Trevor, Reaper, Shadow, Ivan, Blood, Ice, and Igor are the top 10 mercenaries when it comes down to their total stat scores. If you're looking for the top 10 mercenaries with the highest perception, then it would be Gus, Scully, Trevor, Magic, Reaper, Barry, Scope, Sydney, Raven, and Buzz. Well, you get the point. Now, the bold and blue are top 10 mercenaries of average stats above 80, and only stats, meaning agility, dexterity, strength, wisdom, perception. I didn't average skills because it makes little sense to average marksmanship against explosives. The last is the total points a merc can achieve in the game, which is a sum of all his starting stats, skill points, and points he can get via leveling. So technically the top 10 mercs in the game, starting by first of course, are Gus, Scully, Trevor, Magic, Thos, Nails, Reaper, Wolf, Len, and Shadow. And that doesn't mean that the other ones aren't good. It's just that they will never, even after leveling up, have a total amount of points distributed into a character as many as these do. Bull, Hitman, Grizzly, Steroid are actually the worst in comparison to any other mercenaries, no matter what you do with them. It's always better higher up on the list as you can gain better performance from them. Of course you could hire them if you like their personalities. It's surprising that a very popular Grunty is one of the weakest mercenaries, as is Malice. MD, with his low level and high intelligence, is said to be one of the people's great potential. This table shows he isn't so. Versatile mercs like Wolf and Nails made it to the top because of their starting skills. My own surprise was that Raider, one of my favorite mercs, also didn't seem to be able to achieve much, despite his high price. But he is just a trooper. I'll explain what that means later. About positives. A lot of the people seem to like Barry, and with good reason. He's 11th regarding potential total points. Same applies to Meltdown, Thor, and Blood. All have a lot of potential, regardless of their low price. Igor is certainly worth looking at. Possibly the only merc of the first row who's like that. Some mercenaries are gods regarding stats. Magic has an average stat of 90, which is 50% better than the weakest mercs in the roster. Best troopers. What does a trooper do? He's able to shoot effectively at medium and close range and survive being shot at. He has no special skills, or they really don't matter for his job, like mechanical or medical, as he fills the team of providing cannon fodder and extra firepower to it. Strength defines ability to carry more equipment and more importantly health, which means he can take more shots and live, which is crucial for a grunt. I weight strength at 25% more here. Dexterity and marksmanship, you aren't a good trooper if you can't shoot straight, because shooting and surviving is a trooper's main and only task. I weight strength and marksmanship 50% more in the trooper index. Agility is nice, it gives him the ability to run longer and better responsiveness to orders. I'll weight it as it is. Perception, since we don't have a fog of war, doesn't matter at all, since you can schedule shots for your troopers manually, and thus don't need guard mode at all. I weighed only half of perception in the index. Intelligence isn't necessary at all for the trooper tasks, but it gives him a better ability to level up and improve skills. I made intelligence a modifier for points to gain from future levels. So if a guy who can achieve 10 points has intelligence of 50, I will only weigh 5 points into the equation. This weighs their low level and ability to learn into the equation, but doesn't make it very significant, since it's not that way in the game. Traits. For reference, I posted all traits here, and highlighted all the adepts and experts in trooper weapons like shotguns, rifles, machine guns, and SMGs. Price. It's not weighted into the trooper index itself, but it's posted for reference. A number of expensive mercenaries who are skill tanks don't make it to the top of the list. Most notable, Nails, who isn't much of a shooter or a runner, but has valuable mechanical and explosive skills. We all love Raven, but her low strength makes her a very delicate flower when 50 Groom Warehouse guards rush her in full spectra and start shooting burst fire. When you organize yourself a medic, a mechanic, and explosive expert, most of the people on the top half of the table can fill the rest of the spots as combat troops equally well. Although those closer to the top will shoot better and survive longer than those close to the bottom. Bull, Hitman, Steroid all suck. Grunty is a very bad mercenary despite having lots of fans. Most doctors aren't great fighters, with the notable exception of Thor. Snipers. This table shows mercenaries sorted by their summary of dexterity and marksmanship when they are hired, as well as their hiring price and level, and traits. Clearly, Raven is the best shooter, especially with her moderate price. Very expensive mercs aside, cheaper mercs like Malice, Ice, and Sydney all made it to the top 15, are excellent shooters and are certainly worth looking at, especially at the beginning. Take your time and take a look at who you would choose. Well, this ends the Mercenary Guide. Hope it helped. Please don't forget to rate and subscribe, and see you again next time.